Nope, not gonna do it. Can't do it, won't do it. God, come on. What's taking so long? Shoot. Talking about he may not come when you want him, but he's right on time. What time is it? I mean, what time is it?
You know, people say that it's all about timing. You know, is it really about timing? Everything happens within in a certain amount of time? And what does that mean, actually? So, for example, I want my life to change and I want to do some things differently. And although I try, nothing seems to happen. But then suddenly something does happen. Was that because it was just the right time? Because I didn't put much effort when it did happen. But then when I was trying for it to happen, it didn't happen. So what is it really? Is it like some arbitrary God in the sky that's like, okay, well, on this month, on this day, this is what is supposed to happen for you? Is that the way it is? I'm wondering if that's really the case, because I'm thinking, this is just my theory, based upon experiences that I've had about time, about things that happen in my life. The things that I wanted that happened in my life, I called it into my life. How do I explain this? And, you know, people hear about the law of attraction. I'm not certain about that, but what I do know is that when I desired it, and I was grateful for where I am, but still desiring like this new job. I've manifested my dream job. After I got it, it wasn't so dreamy, but I did manifest my dream job. And the way that I manifested my dream job was that I willed it and to happen. I'm going to explain willed it to happen too, because I kept it in my spirit. I pondered over it, and I was grateful, and I thanked, and I was grateful that I had it even though I didn't have it. And this was a daily thing for me. I kind of, in my spirit, I was just like thankful that this is going to happen, and I put energy towards it. I put my energy towards it. And of course, the work that I put towards it was just to apply for the job. And I applied and I got it. Something that I would have never have gotten. Now, if I had done this before, just naturally just putting in jobs and didn't have that energy that I applied, it would be ongoing. It's like, I'll never get it. Where is it? How come I don't have it? So it's the strangest thing, because when you let go, quote unquote, let go and let God, that means to me, it's like not stressing over it, but being grateful for it, that you already have it. It comes. And that's because, one, okay, before I tell you this, let me give you an experience of something that doesn't happen for me because I think it's supposed to happen. For example, I have this beautiful condo that I have, and throughout the years, especially starting with the panning, I was just restless, even up until recently, just restless. And I literally, because I have the ability to do so, I put it on the market several times, took it off several times, because my idea was, I'm going to sell it and I'm going to go live abroad and do this kind of thing. And as much as I really wanted to do that, I was still unsettled in my spirit. I was still unsettled internally. There would always be this doubt and this questioning, and nothing will conspire of it. I will put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off. I almost fell to the point that I was a little schizo. I'm like, what's going on with me? Mentally, I'm like, this is not me. I say I'm going to do something and I do it. And it just didn't happen that way. And I would be on and off. I mean, fickle, real fickle. I'm like, geez, what is going on? Well, it wasn't until this last time that I put it on for rent, and I realized, let's be honest with myself, I really don't want to do this because I really love the place, and I will, if I really ask myself what I really, really want, I would say that the initial purchase, the reason for purchasing was to have it as a pied-à-terre, somewhere I would come back to after I travel. Well, I said that is still the reason why I want it. So I want to be able to keep it and travel and come to. So, and realizing that, I was like, I'm keeping it. Definite reasoning. I had to make a decision. I had to make an emphatic decision, and a decision that is unmovable, not because of a circumstance. They always say don't sell or buy in need because you make the wrong decisions. Well, for that reason, it's like, I'm not going to sell because I think I need the money, but I am going to sell when if it feels that I want to, and I want to get out, but I haven't really wanting to get out. So the decision is, no, you keep it because you like it and you want to stay in it, not because you need money. Now, I say this to say as the opposite of wanting something and there's no obstruction, no blockage to it, and then getting it. And then wanting something and then there is obstruction and there's blockage. And what I mean by blockage or obstruction is basically you are of two minds, or three or four in my case. So once we are divided within ourselves, there's nothing that's going to be done, truly. We won't have what we think we want to have. We won't do what we think we want to do because of the negative mindsets that keep us stuck, literally stuck. And that's the word I've been using, is I feel stuck. And why do we feel stuck? Because we are of two minds. We are of divided thought. Yes, I want to leave my job, but I need the money. Yes, I don't like this relationship, but where am I going to find another relationship? Or so we make up we put these obstacles in the way of what we want, thereby never getting what we want. So when we talk about timing, timing has to be in the construct, or in the content of ourselves. It's not some God on the outside of us that's saying, oh, in this right time, this is what's going to happen. I truly believe that when we talk about the right time is when we decide the right time will be. The right time is when we are of one mind. The Lord our God is one. Therefore, we cannot be divided, mind, soul, body, and spirit. And if any of those elements are off, mind, body, soul, spirit, then we will not acquire what we so-called desire. We will not acquire what we desire. Anywho's. So if we want anything in life, like for example, I want to lose this weight. Now on the exterior, if we focus on the exterior, okay, they say, change your diet, exercise, right? Okay, and physically you're going to exercise. Physically you're going to change your diet, right? But you're still not losing weight. Despite what you do, you're not losing weight. What is the cause of this? You should be losing weight because you change your diet, you exercise. But there's a resistance within us that keeps us from actually losing that weight. There's a mentality, there's a mental state of mind that will have us go for a period of time, and we'll be gung-ho for 3-6 months, and still when we don't see the progress, we'll fall off, or whatever. Maybe we'll meet a little progress, but it still will go back to our ways. And why is that? Because change does not happen permanently without the buy-in of all the elements: mind, body, soul, and spirit. In other words, we have to change our belief system, our emotion, our DNA from within in order to have permanent change, in order to make a decision, in order to move, in order to do what it is we do. We can by sheer will, we can get the job we want, we can have the money we want, but it will not be suffice. It will not be complete. You see all these people who get all the wealth but still very unhappy, because that happiness is not permanent when it's just from the outside. But when we take it from within and it comes to us, it just comes to us naturally. It comes to us through source, through energy, through universe, through what we call God. It is something that we appreciate wholeheartedly. And I don't also want to say this in the sense that we are trusting in some arbitrary thing outside of ourselves. I want us to realize that we are the God that says we're having it and it's ours. From the internal, not the external, right? From being one within ourselves, but knowing the oneness of God within is what brings about the true success and true change. So when it comes to, is it the right time? Well, it's always the right time if it's the right time internally for us. Have we made it up in our mind that yes, I want this weight loss, and I am wholeheartedly in agreement. There's no fight, there's no resistance in me, and the resistance being a mental challenge. Oh, I don't feel like I can do it. Oh, I've felt like I failed. Oh, I don't think that I can stop this and eating this and this thing, and there's no way we have this internal monologue that is our resistance, that keeps us from achieving whatever goal we set. So once we change that internal thought process, once we really go in and have what we used to call the Spirit of God change us from within, the exterior is just going to be temporary. It's just going to be a rat race. It's just going to go on and on and on and on, a circular, we're never really achieving. So this is what I have come to believe and see when it comes to change. So I have now really prioritized going within. For example, this job is good, but I have a lifestyle. I have an idea of what I want out of life, and this is what I want. So can I get it? Can I have it? Well, I can have it if I can remove the resistance from my thinking on my internal being, emotionally, physically. So we can have whatever we want, but we have to be one in our decision. Our mind, body, soul, and spirit has to agree. Where 2 or 3 are gathered together in the midst, there I am. That's what the scripture says. Well, that means where your mind, body, soul, and spirit is gathered together in agreement, there is God. There is change. There is peace. All right? There's success. So, again, what I am seeking to do now is to really dive deep into the shadow self, into the negative thoughts, into the the double-mindedness of life and what I think I want, and I'm not getting it. So if there's something we want, we're not getting it. If the change that we want to do and the change is not happening, there's always a rat race. There's always a circular motion that you start and then you go back to square one again. That's because the internal change has not happened. That's because the mental change has not happened, has not occurred. And we really need to start there. This is where we are missing it. This is where the law of attraction occurs. Come to the place where we can say, okay, heart, this is what I want. And heart says, you can have it. Instead of saying, you can't have this. Don't you know that your family is from? Don't you know how you look? You can't have this. You know, we need to silence those negative thinking, and we have to delve within. Now, for me to explain the diving within, that's a whole nother video. But for me, is something that I do in meditation. I don't know how else other people do it, but for me, I do it in meditation. And, I use different techniques, just like you've been told about law of attraction, affirmations and so on. But I think it goes deeper than affirmations. I'll tell you that in another video. It goes deeper than what you're saying. You have to come to the point of sending energy and true belief towards it. So we'll talk about that in another video. So what do you think about this? What do you think about, is it the right timing? Is it the right timing? What does that mean to you? What does the right time mean to you? Does it mean, oh, God has a plan for us, and then when that plan comes to life, then that's when it happens? Is that the right timing for you? Or are you of the mind, like I am, that timing is what you say it is? Timing is what you believe is come to be because you have made an emphatic decision in your soul, your mind, your body, and it's all in agreement, and therefore it's a go. So let me know what you think. I'll be really interested to know if there's something to what I'm saying. As a matter of fact, I would like for you to actually see if that's the case by doing that yourself and seeing if, when you have made a decision, if that becomes so. Thanks for joining me again. It's wonderful to have you. You obviously don't have to click on my video, but you do, and I appreciate you. 30 of you. But it's a new channel, so it's expected. Everybody has to start somewhere. So as you were listening, we're trying to decide as timing. What exactly is timing, and what they call God's timing. And as I was saying earlier, I wonder if what we are calling God's timing is a matter of the amount of time that it takes us, God's timing, to align with our desires and goals. So if we are conflicted in any way, if we desire something and we're conflicted in any way, then it prolongs the time in which we actually achieve that goal, right? So a person who is consistent, who wants to go to school and is consistently going day by day because they have that set goal in mind, they have a reason, they have a strong enough purpose, is going to achieve that goal. They have made it one. Their mind, body, soul, spirit is in agreement, and they're going straight forward. However, if a person is in any way starting school and starts to be swayed by conversations on social media, by their own perception of what school entails, whether they really are willing to commit to the whole time it takes in order to graduate, if they have been convinced and within their own heart that this is the path that they want to go into and that they want to pursue? Or is there a slight subconscious, if not conscious, lightly dimmed thought that says, really, is school necessary? Do I really need to pay this amount of money for school? So if there's questioning in the mind, then there is not oneness. There is not a convincing of, this is exactly what I want to do. There's not an emphatic decision made. And so when we don't have that emphatic decision, when we are divided in ourselves, then it's not the timing. It's not the right timing. We need to come to the point where we make an emphatic decision, where there's no way out, there's only one way, and this is the way, and this is what I'm going to do. And when we come to that decision, we actually do it. We actually do it. We actually get things accomplished. But I think what is happening is that we are divided in our convictions. And so therefore, it doesn't happen. Why don't we manifest the things that we want to manifest? Because we are divided within our decisions. We are divided within ourselves. We are not one. The Lord our God is one, meaning we have to bring the mind, body, soul, spirit connection into oneness before we can achieve and acquire anything. What do you think about that? Is timing of God my perception of timing of God, or do you think it's some arbitrary person outside of ourselves that's just going to say, lo and behold, the time is now? What do you think? I'd like to hear from you. Comment below. But thanks for watching.
God's timing is perfect, and you are right where you need to be. Sometimes, we may feel impatient or uncertain about our current circumstances, wondering why things aren't happening according to our plans. But God sees the bigger picture. In His infinite wisdom, God orchestrates every detail of our lives. He knows the right time for things to unfold, and He works all things together for our good, even when we can't see it. He is at work behind the scenes, aligning circumstances, opening doors, and preparing us for what lies ahead.
There is nothing that's going to be done, truly. We won't have what we think we want to have. We won't do what we think we want to do because of the negative mindsets that keep us stuck, literally.